folks.
Hey.
Yep. Hey everyone, Tom Slinka here, better known as the illustrious Q from both Bubble King Comics and here for the Sonic Stadium. I'm here with Ian Flynn and Patrick Spaziante, both from Sonic the Hedgehog Comics, and here to give you an interview for the site. So, first question directed to the both of you. How did you both end up working on Sonic the Hedgehog?
Age before beauty.
Thank you. Well, I actually worked in the office first, and I just basically begged the editor, Scott Phillip, to look at my stuff. He said he would when he got the chance. I kept on just drawing sketches of Sonic, putting them up on this little poster board that I had there, and eventually he said, I'll give you a shot. And the first issue I did, I believe it could have been 21. I may be wrong on that, but it was a rush job, way faster than I wanted to do it, but I took it. And people seemed to like it, so he just kept on giving me work.
That's what got me in. I did the one thing you're never supposed to do and sent in unsolicited script material and just begged the editor for about 3 years. Kept revising scripts, kept showing what I could do, and that was when then editor Mike Pellerito saw my stuff, said, hey kid, you ain't half bad, I'll show you how you're supposed to do it. Took me under his wing, showed me what to do, and here I am.
Nice. Very, very cool. Cool. So this next question is directed directly to Spaz.
Okay.
What has been your favorite story? What has been your favorite story arc in both, or any of the game art? Sorry, let me rephrase that. What has been the highlight of your time working for Archie Comics for Sonic the Hedgehog?
I really liked 25, the Silver Sonic issue. I, at the time, wish we could have done more. See, now it's a lot freer to do stuff with the game stuff. Back then, it was a real push, but it was nice to be able to work on something that was more based on the games as well as the comic book stuff. And the Mecha Madness arc was really fun, because we got to design new characters, obviously. That was one of the first times we actually got to design main characters, and really there were no problems using them, so it was a good time.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, next question is for Ian.
I'll move, it's okay.
What has been the favorite story that you've written so far?
That I've written?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Maybe that's been published, the Interject Reborn arc.
Nice.
That one came together almost exactly the way I wanted. It was absolutely gorgeously rendered. It was huge, it was fun, it was exciting. More recently, maybe Treasure Team Tango, which is going to be coming out with Sonic Universe in the next issue. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's fun to have a story-driven, dramatic, magnum opus. But Treasure Team Tango is the other side of it. It's a lot of fun because you go crazy with it.
Nice. And everyone's looking forward to Treasure Team Tango.
As they should be.
Next question is for Spaz.
Yes.
How exactly did you end up moving from main interior of the comics to covers only?
Time-wise, basically. Working in the office was a challenge enough because I had to work on stuff at night, and a lot of the issues would go back and forth with Sega, different writers, so after a while I just couldn't make the deadlines anymore because there was too much pressure to do the covers every month as well as interiors for this and that. So they wanted to put me on specialty books when they could. And then when I went straight freelance, it was definitely harder because I had worked from other places and just basically try to squeeze it in when I can. And I'm always happy to do it. But now trying to do some stuff here and there,
Nice. Next question is for Ian.
My turn.
Relating back to Treasure Team Tango.
Yeah.
Can you give us At first, we ended up thinking that it was going to be a girl-specific arc, but now it seems like it's going to be something completely else. Can you sort of describe what that else is?
The else is, with most stories that we do in Sonic, it's constructed for where is this going to take us? What is this going to do to change the world? What is it going to do to change the characters? And there will definitely be some plot progression within Treasure Team Tango. But the main thinking behind this arc was, let's just have fun. So, we wanted to do something with Amy Rose taking the spotlight because she hasn't had a lot of development. Kareem was just brought to the book, so we needed a good space to, really develop her as well. We needed to follow up on Blaze's search for the Soul Emeralds. So, put the girls together and send them on an adventure. And then when you have a gym in the works, Rouge is usually involved. And where there's Rouge, there's usually Team Dark. And where there's money involved, you have Knack. And Knack is funny when you put him with people like Bean and Bark. And then, why not throw the Babylon Rogues in there too, just to make things completely chaotic? And from there, it was just fun. And I've seen some of the final pencil stuff, and it is hilarious. You guys are going to love it.
Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. Next question is for Spaz. You've done covers on just about every single Sonic-related memorabilia. Hold on.
Okay.
You've been working for Sonic the Hedgehog, doing cover work and everything else for about 10 years now. Why do you what is it about Sonic that keeps you coming back to it?
It was one of my first, I guess, professional gigs, and it's one of those deals where as long as they keep digging what I'm doing, I'm happy to do it for the fans, and for everybody who likes it. By all means, it keeps me coming back, and I also like the fact that we actually get to change iterations of the difference between the regular Sonic book and Sonic X, stuff like that. So it's always cool to me.
Nice. Next question is for Ian. Since you've been the writer for the book, the status quo among the freedom fighters has become pretty rock solid.
Yep.
This is relating to the upcoming Trader reveal. Is that going to have any impact on that status quo? Obviously,
we are getting close to the point where we reveal who the traitor is and what the circumstances are around said traitorism. I know a lot of folks are assuming they know when it's going to happen, but they don't, which is a lot of fun for me because I get to sit in the background and go, ha ha ha. That's something that we're going to be talking about at the panel coming up on Sunday. It ties into 225, our plans for the 20th anniversary, and our plans from there on out. We will be dealing very heavily with the freedom fighters, the greatest heroes in the world who can overcome anything, and see just how much they can endure, and if they truly can overcome everything. And that's part of the Trader, that's part of what comes from 225, and you guys are in store for some crazy stuff for the next 5 years.
Nice. And also, speaking of 225, is there any teasers that you could give us?
I was able to look at Bumble King a little bit this morning. People are going crazy, of course, and a lot of them are jumping to some conclusions about what we teased with the cover. And I think we're going to show that same tease on Sunday. And what folks need to realize is you haven't even seen half of that cover. There's still a lot of stuff to be revealed. As for teasers, it's going to play directly into our plans that we've been working with Sega for the 20th anniversary of Sonic.
Nice.
Along with other stuff, but
a lot of Sonic fans are going to be fantastically happy to hear that. So, next question is for Spaz. You have the ability to copy just about every single art style on the planet,
Thanks, man.
which is phenomenal. Is there any sort of tricks or any insight that you could give to other artists how exactly you do that?
Well, I wish there were tricks. It's just a matter of, I was told by one of the editors a long time ago that it's best to be as diverse as possible because, it's always great to have your own style, and of course you want to do that. You want to build on your own style, but to break down to other people's styles, it's good because if you're doing especially licensing work, something like Sonic or upcoming Mega Man stuff, you want to be able to recreate, or at least I like to recreate as close as possible to their parents' styles. So to draw in more fans, get people to recognize, oh wow, this was a video game and now it's a comic book and stuff like that. So I wish there was a trick, it's just practice. That's the most thing I could say is if you like someone's artwork, if you like the look of something, just keep practicing over and over again, you'll definitely get it.
Cool. And also, speaking of your style, we've also known, the fans are also noticed by looking at basically your gallery of cover arts.
Okay.
That your style has changed significantly from when you first started out to, well, today.
Okay.
Can you give us any reason as to what brought about the change?
Well, depending on, I'm trying to accommodate whatever editor was at the time. Is a good example for a lot of changes in the art style. So if one guy was more of an action fan or an anime fan, I would do it to his specifications. Sometimes it was just to give the fans something different to look at. There are there's actually covers coming up now that Paul wanted me to do a certain way. And, once again, I want to be as accommodating as possible and try and give him what he wants, hopefully give the fans something new and different to look at. Because it's always nice to give them a nice little variation on stuff. I know I've seen some things where they're not so crazy when styles change, but, I like to give little variations here and there.
Like the cover that you ended up doing for Sonic Universe number 25. Excellent work, by the way. It looks fantastic.
The CG looking? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one with silver on it looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Next question is for Ian.
I feel weird looking down at the camera. This is all going to be live, isn't it?
This isn't all going to be...
You're going to edit? Please?
Some of it, yes. Other parts, no. So, as you know, with the last issue of Sonic the Hedgehog and with the upcoming release of the first issue of Treasure Team Tango,
yep,
we know that you've integrated Cream into the comics.
Yep.
This is a two-part question. First, can you give us any reason why you decided to integrate Cream? And part two, is there any chance of seeing El Gran Gordo make it into the book?
With Cream, it was basically to bring in more of the Sega Sonic material that is readily recognizable by the casual fan. We love the comic book fans, the folks who have been with us since issue 0. Don't want to trade them for anything in the world, but the vast majority of the readership comes from the kids who just pick it up off the bookshelf because they happen to see Sonic. And Cream is a recognizable Sonic character, and bringing her into the mix means we're going to grab a couple of people that would normally just pass by the book. That said, I think she brings an interesting dynamic, especially when we're going to be working with Amy. The story in Sonic Battle is a good example of where I want to take the two of them. So it's not that we're just bringing her in and say, look, Cream, buy the book. Okay, bye, Bunny. I mean, we're going to do stuff with her. But the initial idea was to make the book more Sega accessible and then see what we can do with her and vanilla and cheese and eventually chocolate eventually down the line. As for El Gran Gordo, no. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be regulated strictly to off-panel at most. Sega has made it clear that they want us to leave the Sonic X stuff behind. Personally, and this is just me alone, I'm not speaking for the company or anything, I'd love to bring in Bokun, maybe even Boko and Deco, especially El Gran Gordo, but we don't really need them right now, and there's just too many circumstances at the time.
Okay, cool. Next question is for Spaz. A variety of Sega characters have appeared when you've been penciling for the issues themselves, like Knight, Astal, and several others. Are these your favorite characters with Sega, or?
Yeah, well, Astal is actually one of my favorites. I know people have asked about that before. Back then, I really liked to, and I wish we still could do it, but I really like to put in some little Sega touches here and there, depending on the characters, and try to keep it as current as, well, the technology was at the time. And I remember Astal was one of those ones, that was kind of an unsung Sega Saturn game.